It's podcast day. It's podcast day. Welcome in. Hello, friends.
Hello.
We're getting situated over here. Welcome. Welcome to the heyBrownBerry Podcast. I am Mars, if you're new here. This is my channel out here on YouTube where I talk about all things making and reflections. And this is Adachi.
Hello.
Adachi is my oldest child, and if you've been here long enough, you will have seen Adachi on the podcast before, many, many years back.
Yes, I was on the podcast, I think maybe once.
Yeah, a couple of times, I think, because we did some while we were traveling. Right. And Adachi and her sister Mizi, they are just such good supporters of heyBrownBerry stuff that I've convinced them a time or two to come on the channel. Today, I feel like I'm breathing heavy, guys. Sorry. It's a product of setting up the fire that's behind us.
Yeah.
Adachi helped me to bring some stuff out here. And when you're moving around to get all the things together to get a fire going, it's almost proportional to the peacefulness that you get from sitting at the fire. So it takes a lot of doing, but here we are. I wanted to put up a quick episode because it is Sunday, January 2nd.
Mm-hmm. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! We're starting another year, 2022, and I am happy to be able to sit out here. It is December in Florida. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit more. Outdoor podcast takes some doing. Thanks for your patience while we figure it all out. I wanted to do a quick podcast today for a couple of reasons. I have some projects that I'm working on. They're works in progress in my project bags. And I figure what better time than January to kind of mark where I am in my making. I have not made any New Year's resolutions, just full disclosure and disclaimer.
Me neither.
I'm a fan of reflection and goal setting. You know, it's good to have checkpoints and things that you'd like to measure. I'm all about that. But I haven't done a formal list of things I'm going to do this year. But I thought just looking at where I am with my projects now, that would be a cool thing to look back on in some weeks from now. So I have that all over here to the side. And I just wanted you guys to get a chance to spend a little bit of time with Adachi. And I have so much ease when Adachi is with me. I have so much calm when we're together. So that's always a good thing when you're about to get on camera. Well, yeah, let's talk first about something that I just mentioned to Adachi before turning the camera on, which is a book that she's reading.
Oh, yes.
Some of you are probably setting goals about your list of reads this year, right? So Adachi's going to talk about what she's currently reading. So I'll hold it up here so you can see.
And I have been trying to read a little bit of it each day. Maybe that'll be one of my goals.
Okay,
Just
you'll have to say that
day.
again, because I say to folks who watch the podcast that I like to talk when I don't have something up in front of my face.
Oh,
so
true.
If someone needs to read my lips, they can. So say that again, what you said.
I was saying I am trying to read a little bit of this book each day, and I think that would be a good goal for me in the year, is to try to read something each day that's not for school. Just something for fun.
Right. Okay, so for context, talk about what you're doing right now in life as a 20-year-old.
Oh, I am going to college at the University of Tampa.
Yes.
I'm a junior right now. It'll be my second semester of my junior year, so I have 3 left, and then I am graduating.
3 semesters to go, which for me as your mom is crazy to think about. Like, you've been going through it all, so I'm sure it's very real for you.
Yeah.
I have been witness to it, and it's amazing to me that you're already that far along. But
It goes by fast.
Yeah. Amazing
Even
in a good way. So what you'd like to do is read a bit more material that wasn't assigned to you.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I know I'll have to be reading for school too, and I do like a lot of the selections. I'm excited for my fiction writing class that my sister and I are taking together this semester, because I know the professor has good taste. He likes kind of eccentric authors, and stories they're very interesting. So
Shout
I know
out to that
that'll keep
professor.
me busy. Yeah.
Yeah, shout
But
out to
I
that.
also have a lot of books that I have acquired, and I want to read those things for fun also.
I love it. And this one is called Good Immigrant.
It's an anthology. Oh, there's a bee.
You see a bee somewhere?
Okay, it's gone.
This is what we deal with. It's December in Florida, and between the bees, the flies, and the mosquitoes, being outside is a whole adventure.
Yes. As I was saying, it's an anthology of different authors, different POC authors, and they are all immigrants to the UK. I think the book is a few years old, but I find it to be very relevant still, with just hearing their perspectives and what it's like to be someone living in a country that is not made up of mostly people that look like you, different experiences of how they are constructing their ethnic identities and things like that in a space that's not of their culture, really.
They just won't leave us alone. We have to SWAT. So this is going to be a short episode?
But yeah, it's individual essays, each one from one author. And there's a good mix in there.
So I looked inside. It's 2016 it was published.
Okay, yeah, so not that long ago.
Yeah. And it says that it is an anthology of individual essays. So you recommend it so far based on what you've read, or?
For sure, yes.
I see that you've marked pages, so that's cool.
Right, I'm reading it for a book club. So I marked pages where I thought, hey, I want to talk about this segment of it for the book discussion.
So I will put the information about the book in the description box below. Cool. I love that you're chipping away at it. Friends, we have fought the flies and come back.
And now we have a bigger flame.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Projects that I'm working on right now. I'll show you. Speaking is hard. I will show you what I'm working on, and also include any pattern information in the description box as usual. And if you have questions that I haven't answered when talking about it, always feel free to comment. What I'd love is if you would share with me some of your works in progress or project plans. That's why I wanted this to be a video that I could put out early in January, because I know that some of you are making plans and resolutions and you have goals for your stitch work, and I want to hear about them. So share that with me. So this project is living in my favorite bag from Hide and Hammer. It's this canvas material that it kind of has like a lunch bag feel to it.
I really love this color too.
Me too. Adachi and I both like the burgundy red family. This is like a plum wine color. If you see, the top of it rolls down really easily, and I am keeping my pattern in here. In fact, right now I'm just focused on the chart portion of it. So I have a chart keeper that lets me sit this on the table so I can look at it. This pattern is called Emalje. I've talked about it on the podcast before. It's an all-over cabled sweater by Greene. And I am working it 2 pieces at a time, the front and the back piece. Ooh. I actually talked about this in my last episode. I'm intentionally knitting the front wider than the back. So I'll let Adachi just hang on to that for a second. You can hold that up.
Like
That's the back
already.
part. So show the front part here.
Oh.
Thank you, honey.
Oh.
That's the front. I actually just got stitch markers the other day to mark them. Yep. So there's a stitch marker that says the word front on it.
Oh, I see.
And I just switched over to working on that piece. So the one that Adachi's holding has the needle ends in it for actual knitting. This is the back piece, and it has stoppers on the end so that I can just throw it into the knitting bag. So this is the back, and the back is more narrow so that the overall circumference is going to fit me better. I'm finding with sweaters that I need a certain width on the front and a different width on the back in order for it to fit me well. So you can see I've made some progress on this to the point where you can see the cables starting to meander. Maybe if I hold it properly. And it's taking a while because each of these ribs is a twisted stitch. So it's basically an all over ribbed pattern with cabling.
I can see why that would take a while, yes.
Working on both pieces at a time, though, is helping. So I am completely enjoying this. I'm at that sweet spot in the project where returning to it each time is a comfort, because I just sit down, I get to the row on the chart that I need, and I proceed. Do you find that there's usually a part in a project like that for you, where you are comfortable enough with the stitch pattern that you can kind of sit down in your favorite chair and just go? There's not a lot of math to do anymore. There's not a lot of overthinking. So that's where I am with this one. And it's a long-term project. These are just front and back pieces. I still have to do the sleeves, and the sleeves have the same cabling and twisted stitch pattern. So that will be on the needles for a little while, but that's okay. I enjoy having a larger project or a garment project on the go. I really like that. One of the other things I'm going to be doing in the next few months, and by the way, that's a reflection that I've had. I've completely come to the point where I accept that my knitting it's going to take me a few months to do anything larger than socks or a hat. You know, even shawls tend to take me several weeks because I have a full-time day job, and I also work on my own pattern designs, which is quite a mental load in and of itself, other than just the knitting. So yeah, I'm just accepting the fact that projects are going to take some multiple of weeks. So these are an old pair of socks that I have recently repaired. You see that little pink blip?
I like it.
It is my Mending, and I just started doing more mending recently on my socks. So this is on the heel of the sock, and I'm doing a woven mend. Essentially what I do is I start out with wherever the hole is. I thread my needle with some yarn, and I make a square around the hole. So I just go over, under some stitches along the side, along the top, the other side, and the bottom to make myself almost like a square frame. Similar to, I think, what happens on an actual weaving loom, where you have a frame where you can start putting in your warp stitches. So in this case, my tiny warp stitches, the ones that go vertically up and down, I do that with my yarn first, and then I start weaving over, under, so that I can create a patch. It's been working great so far for sock mending. I mean, it's very sturdy, but here's what I love about this and why I'm going to continue doing this more throughout the year. It is slow. And it may sound strange for me to say that I'm going to continue doing it and I love it because it's slow, but the slowness is directly related to how tidy the stitches are, how dense they are, and therefore how long the patch is going to last. So it's this kind of slowness that's a reminder of when you do something well and take your time, it just comes out better. I just knit Adachi a pair of socks for Christmas.
They're stripy with purple and green and yellow. I like them a lot. I already wore them a few times out here because it was cold in the mornings.
Yes.
So I definitely did need those socks.
And where you are on campus is cooler than here, than where we live.
Yes. Yeah, I was wearing some other ones that you made me in maybe early November.
Yeah,
Because it was
already?
starting to get down to the 60s and 50s in the morning when I would get up for work. And
Yeah.
I would be like, I need some socks. And the
Yes.
sweaters that you made me too, I wore them all the time.
I will try to put in a few pictures here of projects that I've made for Adachi. Adachi is very knit worthy, so that you guys know. She's very appreciative of her hand knit makes, and she wears them. And the fact that you're a knitter as well, that you know how to knit, I think there's that piece where you know how long a project takes.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
So
And I never got to the sweater level, so.
yeah, so the fact that you understand the process and that you appreciate the process, that's why I knit for them. I mean, wouldn't you? So I will put in some pictures of makes for Adachi. You'll see them modeled perfectly. I'm going to continue with the mending. The other thing I wanted to say about this, it just came to my mind, is I bought a loom recently, a small standing table loom for learning weaving techniques, and I feel like this little bit of practice is just getting me comfortable with this kind of craft. And even though it's a very simple weave and it's meant for repair, it almost feels like tipping my toe in to weaving. So we'll see. The second one, I'm showing this for accountability, is already starting to weaken a bit. There'll be a hole there anytime. So I have already decided that before I wear this pair of socks again, I'm going to do this same woven patch right over that area. Right? Prevention.
Do you think you'll do pink again or a different color?
I think I will. Well, what do you think? What should I do?
I like the pink, but if you have like another really bright, different one, you could do that too.
Yeah, I like, now that we're talking about it, I like the idea of it having two pink patches. So I think I will do pink again.
It's like a pop.
It's like a pop of color on the bottom of the heel, which I will mostly appreciate for the fact that it lets me wear these longer. A couple other things. I will quickly show you just a little bit of a test knit, not giving away very much by showing this part of the test knit. It is a vest, and the vest has already been pictured on Sarah Pope's Instagram. Sarah is Whistling Girl Knits. She lives out in the Pacific Northwest, and as soon as I saw her test call, I was thinking, I have no business taking on another project, but I have to have that vest. So I'm really excited to be making my way through. This time I'm knitting the back and front individually. There's not too much knitting involved here, so I'm doing this back piece, and actually the reverse, I shouldn't say the reverse. In this case, it's a reverse stockinette, so the purl side is the side that will face out. Working my way through it. Definitely don't want to let Sarah down, so I want to finish this by the end of the month and model it, take some pictures of it. I'm really enjoying it. This is a combination of some woolly singles from my friend Jenny and some mohair silk. You like that? Super soft. The combo is really nice together. Let's see. So this grello is, grello coming from holding the two strands together. And I realize as I put them together that there are some brown tones within the gray. So in actuality, the yellow's picking up on that really nicely. So I'll keep working on that. Of course, I'll let you all know when the pattern is published. And then finally, we'll rerun inside. I am still working on, a sock blank project. I'm going to let Adachi, if you don't mind, my child, I'm going to let Adachi hold up the finished one. Yes. Very nice. So that is sock 1 of 2. Here is sock 2 already on the needles. Now, what I love about this is there's some memories held in here. I was working on this sock project while I was with my dearest Maria, Some of you know Maria, who is Ninja Chickens out here on YouTube and on Instagram. Maria is my wool wife. We just live in separate houses, and she is a natural dyer and an eco-printing genius. And I was working on these when I was with her this year at the Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair when she was vending. So I want to finish these to just lock those memories in of my time with her in North Carolina this fall. They are made from this. Sorry, I'm hiding Adachi for a second. They are made from this eco-printed sock blank. And if I hold it up close, now you can get an idea of the colors that represent the striping in the sock. This pop of pink, I'll show you with sock 2. So that contrast comes from, let's see, I should have some leftovers. I do. Comes from another sock blank. So you see that one? And this is leftovers from a sock project that Maria was working on. So I feel like I have a little piece of her in all of this. And this pink goes together so well with the purple.
Yeah.
A sock is great for doing those contrast makes. So I'll hold this so you can see some of the plants and stems here. When Maria reopens her shop later this year, I highly recommend you go check out her sock blanks. I think the knitting is so easy anyway, but you get this double pleasure of looking at the picture as you're making, and then even though you're unraveling it, it's like you're just moving the color from one format to another, which I think is great. Any sock knitters out there tried a sock blank or haven't tried it yet? Any sock plans? I know some of you out there have sock knitting plans. I'm pretty sure most of us who are makers and have tried socks, we have socks on the go at any given point.
At any point.
Adachi, you've made socks. You've knit socks before.
I have.
What'd
I
you
wear
think?
the ones that I made too, because they go with a lot of outfits. I think it was the ones that I made with a cream base or something.
Yes.
Yeah, they go with a lot of outfits.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I learned a lot of new techniques while doing it because it was new to me, and it has more nuance. The things that you're doing now with your socks, I probably would take me a little bit longer to learn. But I learned how to do double point needles with socks.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're good for learning new skills for sure.
Yeah, I'm making this on double points, and I remember teaching you how to make socks, and then I feel like you just took off with it.
Once you get it, it's you can just go.
Yeah. It's a comfort project for me now, but I think you're referring to some of my sock designs where I'm trying to teach people, you see the smoke coming for us? I'm trying to teach people different techniques to make their socks fit them.
Right, I never got into those things, but I think it's really cool that you can do that. The socks that you made me that are really form-fitted and they have the specific toes and everything just fit better, so it's worth it for sure.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that endorsement, my darling. Yeah, I think that you would get it if you picked it up again. I think that you would get it because you've always shown a good propensity for following a pattern and,
thanks.
Taking an instruction and running with it.
Now I do that with baking.
Tell everybody what you baked recently, what you've made recently.
Oh, I made waffles, pancakes, I made blueberry muffins. Now I want to make carrot cake because I've been craving it, but we're also watching the Great British Bake Off.
Yes.
And getting inspiration from that.
Yes.
So we'll see what comes of that.
I'm really enjoying our new sort of self-created tradition of picking a show and watching it together. Adachi and Mizi and I will get together on the couch and watch an episode or two of something that we like, and the commentary flows freely. And we talk about it even after the show is over.
Yeah,
so with any Great British Bake Off fans out there, because with that show we're thinking an extra fun thing would be to pick a recipe or two from the show and make it together. So we may do that. It'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Well, those are the things I wanted to share with you. I am so glad Adachi is here. They agreed readily to sit down with me. So if you have teens or 20-ish something children who will do things like that, I'm sure you can appreciate how special that is for a mom. yeah, it's really nice. It's nice having you hang out with me.
Well, thank you for having me as a guest.
Yeah, and I hope that you all are enjoying this first part of 2022. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Me too.
I'm gonna, let's see what happens. Let's see which parts we can make good, and go from there. I wish you the very best rest of your week, and I thank you so much for coming to hang out with me here on the heyBrownBerry YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Amount's like, okay, you got some.
I know, they come running. I don't know that the smoke deterred them even really, but
all right, let's
thank
see
you
how
so
is this
much,
thing
darling.
doing. Yeah, that was fun.
appreciate you.
Okay, it's good. Should we stop?